I share the live. But we want to pray and hope that God will help us to just get it all together. You know how technology is, right? Every time you turn around, there's something going on with technology. But I am still thankful that technology does not rule us, right? We rule it. And in case you didn't get it, who run the world? Girls. Okay, all right. Okay, that wasn't what I was supposed to say, right? Okay, but you know, girls run the world. Okay, I'll stop it, stop it. In Les Brown's words, stop it, behave. Okay, but here we are today. Some of you all saw me earlier today as I was showing you what I used for my hair. And you see how the curls came out? They came out pretty nicely. And all I did was basically separated. You remember how I twisted? I just basically separated the twist, and that's the look. And you see the back, it came out pretty nicely. And I just did this earlier today. So let me tell you all something. You can look as good as you choose to look. And this was just a quick tip on how to do something extraordinary with your hair. And so you can feel good about you. Now, can I add this, guys, guys and gals? You know what? You're not me, and I'm not you. So you can't be exactly like me, but you can be the best you that you can be. So my encouragement to you is whatever you have to work with what you got. Okay, I'll see what I can do to send some people some lives so that we can put this out a little bit further. We've been on the line with StreamYard, talking to them about how to reach out to this live. I know that you can probably do it afterwards, but we're going to see what we can do to make sure that we can shift this position. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to get this done. I am so excited today to have in the studio. Y'all heard that, right? We're in the studio, right? I'm so excited to have in the studio this woman of, what do I call her? This woman of wealth. That's what I'll call her. See, wealth is not only money, but wealth is being able to bring value to the lives of others. Wealth encompasses being able to be a pillar of hope for your family. Wealth encompasses being able to minister to people in their times of need. Wealth encompasses, hey, knowing who you are and walking in your superpower, walking in the power of who God has created you to be. So I don't want to take a whole lot of time away from this awesome woman of God that I know everybody's so excited to hear. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy the ride with you. Yes. Uh-oh, what I hear? Y'all know I'm a songster, right? The Love Boat. This woman is going to teach you some things about love that's going to make your toes curl and your life shift. So, without any further ado, I'm going to introduce to some and present to others a woman of wealth, a woman of power, a woman of stature, a woman of grace, a woman of elegance, a woman of beauty, Miss Focus James. Are you there, Miss Focus?
Oh, what an introduction. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm like, I want to marry her. I'm like, where is the ring?
We're so
Oh,
thankful
thank
to
you.
have you, Focus. Really, really, it
Yeah,
is an honor and a privilege. And so many people are looking forward to you imparting into their life. Can I ask you one question, though, real
please.
quickly? How did
Sure.
you get started? How did you get
I got
started on this journey to be a blessing to the world?
Yes, I actually got started as a result of healing my own hurt, right?
Mhm.
I got married very young. I was actually sliding into depression at 16. My eldest brother came to my mother's home and said, God will be the father that you're missing. I went to that church and I found myself being engaged at 17. So, like a child marriage, just too much too soon. We both love God, But loving God is not enough. So the gentleman and I that married, the marriage was very tumultuous, right? We had not healed our hurt. And if you don't heal your hurt, you will repeat the pain.
Come.
So
Woo. Yes.
that yes, ma'am. So that marriage was a hot mess, nonetheless. And it took me about 10 years to heal that hurt because it was such a depth because he was actually a pastor. I was a first lady. And
Mhm.
he cheated with our armor bearer, who also was with our nanny.
Wow.
So the depth of pain was so, not that anyone is greater or lesser than anyone
Yes.
else, right?
Yes.
However, it was a public, a public affair. It was so embarrassing. It was so overwhelming. It took me about 10 years, Pastor, to heal. I mean, I went to the Woman Thou Art Loose. I traveled all around this country, going to workshops, seminars, one day, seminars, weekends, retreats, trying
Wow.
to figure out how to heal this hurt. And you know what I discovered? I discovered I was mad at God.
Ah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I
know
was
that
looking
story.
for a word, and the
Mhm.
word was forgive God. Because I was like, dude, how I go to your house and you let me connect with these people, right? So I was like, so I felt so betrayed at that depth. And when I really got that I needed to forgive God, that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord, and that people are people, whether in the mosque or synagogue or church.
Wow.
So that it was not the fault of God, it was people not knowing how to manage God's people, right?
Ooh. Ooh.
So that 10-year journey allowed me to now have a curriculum, a space of healing where people don't have to suffer in silence anymore. That there's a space right here that we create that you can heal the hurt, and then you can get the love you want and actually have the life you love.
Yeah, so it sounds like, I was on that journey as well, being hurt by the pulpit. And
Mm-hmm.
but I thank God for teaching me that he and they were his people, but
Mm-hmm.
they were not him. So I
Mm-hmm.
learned how to
Exactly.
separate the people from
Exactly.
God and the people
Exactly.
actions actually, because most
Correct.
people are operating from a position of pain, and
Mm-hmm.
they from that position of pain inject pain onto other people. Well, I'm gonna get out the way, focus, and if you have time for change for a couple of questions as you begin to close out, I'm getting out
Yeah.
of your way. You got the right of way. Go ahead and
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
and go where you
Absolutely.
need to go. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. So, we're going to talk about how relationship can generate pain. It can generate weight gain, heart palpitations, high blood pressure, right? Not able to gain weight. So, emotional pain is real. So, I really want you to understand that. So, this is not just what you're taking in, it's also what you've buried inside your soul. So TLC has some amazing products. You definitely want to utilize them. The cleansing, the detox, the vitamins. I mean, it could really allow your skin to glow and cause your body to create new cells within a matter of a couple of months, right? That's just facts. And if you don't know that, you could get with Pastor Tori and her crew, and they'll break down all of that type of information for you. What I want to flush out with you today, when you're taking this launch for this next 15 days, is that also you want to purge emotionally. Here's the note if you're not already writing, because we've already been dropping some nuggets. 90% of your happiness will come from your intimate relationships, whether it's a spouse, your parents, your children, the five sum total of people that you connect with the most, right? So 90% of your happiness will come generally from your spouse or the people that you deal with the most intimacy, right? So that's good news. But also, there's some other news because no matter how thin you slice it, there's always two sides. 90% of your misery will come from those same groups of people, right? So it matters who you associate with. It matters who you share your finances, your home, your children. So it matters to really get that cleansing as you're shifting from your 20s, 30s, 40s, 60s, because there's some old fools out there. You got to be able to purge yourself and really take a look at what had happened and clean that up. Own your responsibility and recognize, okay, here's where I dropped the ball in that relationship. So for me, I know in my marriage, I was literally just getting off of the basketball court. I was an athlete. I played volleyball, softball, basketball, and ran track. So I was used to talking smack. So it was a big change for me to learn how to submit and study my husband at the time and learn how to talk to him in a way that uplift him, to cause him to revere me and to see that I have respect. Huge learning curve that I just did not do well. So he cheated. That's that. He's in control of his body and how he dealt with the stress of being newlyweds, and then shortly after that, becoming a pastor. What I can own is what I did or didn't do well or could have done differently. That's healing to the soul, because we can constantly blame the other parties. My dad was a Rolling Stone. My mom was bitter because every time she saw me, she saw my dad. Those may be the truth, because it's possible to have many truths being held at the same time. And one of the other truths is, were you a brat, to your dad or to your mom? Overly emotional, reading things into it. It's 20 years later, you're still blaming your dad because he didn't teach you how to change a tire. That's a Googleable moment. That's a YouTube moment, right? So it's a process of letting go responsibility, where your parents had a certain amount of responsibility on how to raise you. And then around about that 26, 29-year-old is the furthest I'll go, because we're out of graduate school by then. If you took it that far, we need to take emotional responsibility for ourselves. So maybe our parents did or didn't do something, which, guess what? Your children are going to say the same thing, right? Every generation has a complaint about the previous. And you get that. So about that 29th, 30th birthday, it's time now to definitely purge and go, where can I be responsible for my life? And that's everywhere. So letting go and going, you know what? My mom did the best she can do, given the circumstances, given who she was. See, for me, my mom was the second generation in foster care. My great grandfather was Alexander O'Connor, Italian man, he was a merchant seaman, got off the boat, 6'4", blue eyes, fair skin, and fell in love with my grandmother, African American woman, partly from Africa as well. And in that era, in that time, having biracial children were a no-no. They had a few, and somehow when the town discovered that, they told him he needed to leave. He got 24 hours or he won't see the daylight. So he left and came to Philadelphia. That's how we made it. So we actually transitioned up here through trauma, through a threat of life. There's sometimes generational curses that you can take with you, and trauma that's transferring from generation to generation. Some people call it, well, they got it, genetics, for as diabetes, high blood pressure, sugar, right? We call it. But how we can break those curses is recognize that they're there. We got here by trauma, right? And then they had an additional 4 children. So total of 9 biracial children, mulattoes, as they would have called them at that time. And she passed away delivering the twins. So it set the whole family in a spiral in effect. Can you imagine this 6'4" man, Irish man, blue eyes, fair skin, with 9 biracial children? And unfortunately, he began to drink. He put them all in the Catholic Church, and they all was in foster care. As a result, multiple of them drank, and my mom ended up in foster care. The gift that she gave us, she was the first of her siblings, right? She broke this generational curse. I'm still talking about the impact of setting yourself up today, not on January 1, but right now, right? Having that explosive where I'm going to make a change today. I'm not going to wait, out with the bang. I'm not going to wait until the new year. I'm going to start right now, purging right now. So her gift she gave us, she was the first sibling that actually had a home, right? She was the first sibling that actually had a home, which was spectacular. I have a client calling. Sorry about that, guys. And that was such a gift to us, because her other siblings were still in housing of some sort, but she gave us a home, which was such a blessing. It really was. I'm sorry. I apologize for the noise here. Someone's calling me, which is really unusual, through Facebook. So let's see if I can get them to know. Let's see. I am on a live. Call you later, so they won't be insistent and call in again. right? That's one of my amazing clients. So, what I would like to share for you is that you can be the person that stop that generational curse, really shake it up and go, this stops here. And that's what my mom did for us. Not only did she give us a stable home, she also made sure all of us got through high school, which she hadn't. She had not gotten through high school, and she got her GED when she was in her 40s. So, my declaration to you, my request to you, to calling for you, if you're under the sound of my voice, you're the person to stop that generational curse. Rather, it's sugar diabetes, right? Not working out, because working out in of itself can relieve so much stress. It can relieve so much stress, allowing you to get clarity by taking care of this body and giving it the nutrients it needs, having a restful sleep. How many generations before you suffered through insomnia, needing the CPAP, can't sleep? That's a lot of worry and fretting all in ourselves coming from generation to generation. And I want to share with you, like myself, get with a life coach or therapist. There's two differences. And if you want to know, you can message me at focusjames.com and go, hey, Focus, what is the difference? And how do I know if I need you or a therapist? And we can talk that out as well, right? So I can get that clarity for you. So we won't go over that today. But I will suggest in this 15-day period, you want to have a place where you can decompress. You can woosah. And I'm not just talking about venting, because venting sometimes just can build up a new anger, but just talking about it. But a therapist, a life coach like myself will help you to reframe it. Because sometimes things are weighing on us from childhood. Well, what had happened, what my third grade teacher said. So you might have 5 degrees right now because your third grade teacher called you stupid and made you wear the dunce hat. And so you're just moving out of that pain. And congratulations that you had those degrees. There's nothing wrong with it. However, we want to look at the foundation of where the press is coming from, the push is coming from, and does it generate happiness? But more importantly, or just as importantly, does it generate your purpose? Because if you're functioning from pain, you're still in pain. So you may be eating the drinking the drinks, doing the vitamins, doing the detox, and you still can't shake it because you're worried at night. You barely can sleep. So you have the items in your body, but you're still fretting so much as actually fighting against the drinks that you're doing, the water that you're taking in, because you could barely sleep and allow your body, your mind, and your soul to rest. What would it look like on the other side of this 15-day uh, run that we're taking together, where you would go out with a bang? I'm releasing emotional toxicity of what my dad did and my ex-husband and my children forsook me. Whatever it is that you got going on in your head, listen, it may very well be valid. It may very well be valid. They did you wrong, period. And no matter how thin you slice it, there's always two sides. Inside of them doing you wrong, what is the other side? What lesson did you learn? What will it birth your purpose? Write this down. All healed hurt equals purpose. All healed hurt equals purpose. So when you heal that hurt of them doing you wrong, what had happened, molestation, incest, you lost your house, your car, the death of a child, all of those things actually happened to me. On the other side of that, I get to wake up every morning. On the other side of that healing, I get to wake up every morning and go, God, who would you have me to heal the hurt so they won't repeat the pain? And then they can get the love they want and have the life they love. So full time, the last 2.5, probably going on 3 years now, I get to wake up with that declaration as I'm a full-time life and love coach. And just by default, I'm a business coach as well, because I've had multiple businesses. So people seek me out and go, how can I be full-time, right? But that's the gift of the other side of healing. It took me 10 years to heal that hurt, to figure it out, to align my body and my mind and my soul together. Because listen, I jumped right in. It was like, I forgive. I forgive him as the pastor and the brother of, in church. I forgive her as my sister in Christ. I forgive. Sometimes we try to press and push things too much too soon. Like this 15 days, if you need to lose 30 pounds or you want to gain 10 pounds, within reason, you want to set your goals. It's not reasonable to ask yourself and your body to lose 30 pounds. Your body will think it's going in starvation mode and start packing it on and holding it on. You're like, what's happening? It's healthy to allow yourself gradually to let loose, to pull off the layers, to change the habits. It technically takes 21 days to change a habit. So having fair and healthy expectations for your life for this 15 days is a gift to yourself. You can give yourself the gift that these 15 days I'm going to sleep and I'm going to sleep well. I'm going to put my electronics far away from my nightstand and my bed. I'm going to not allow anyone to disturb my rest. For me, I have cats, so we put them in the basement because they'll knock on the door in the middle of the night, right? So I'm gonna put my pets away. I'm gonna let my loved ones know, please don't call me. I'm gonna put my phone on silent. Give yourself the gift of rest on these next 15 days and the rejuvenation you'll have in the morning before your feet hit the ground to take your vitamins, to drink your water. Oh my goodness, the clarity that you'll have. And if the maker so desires to wake you up at 4 in the morning and start talking to you and downloading and giving you vision and giving you opportunities, then allow it to be so. Allow it to be so. Allow yourself to flow and to get into flow with what it is that your spirit needs. This is Focus from the Focus of Love, and I absolutely love love. And the way you get love is first the magic number one. One is the magic number, and that is to heal your hurt so you won't repeat the pain. And then you will get the love you want and have the life you love. So today, my topic of our 15 days, of our 6 topics we're talking about, is about relationship, how you relate to yourself, how you relate to others, how you relate to your past, to be able to forgive, let go. And forgiveness, I know it's a hot narrative now, right? Forgiveness is not about that person, but it's about you. I want to serve notice as a duality. There's a duality in there because absolutely it's about you. It's about healing and clearing your path. Your purpose opens up, right? You sleep better. Your skin glows when you, I promise you, water tastes better and the sky is bluer when you're able to forgive and let go and purge. Then also you're clearing a path for that other person to forgive them themselves, right? And that's the karma you're putting out in the world. So when you cause offense, because yes, you will. We all do. And if you're on that other side and you're saying, Focus, I'm good. I don't hurt people. Well, let me let you know that I'm going to tell you up front. Your family and friends just been trying to tell you, but you haven't been listening. Because we're all, just by the nature of being a human, will offend or hurt someone at some point in time. And the level of grace we give to other people, it Oprah can't buy a way out of it, and a bum can't lay down long enough. We will all reap what we sow. So extend that grace of forgiveness. Now, I'm going to close out this way. Inside of forgiving, inside of healing relationships, all healing does not require restoration. All healing and forgiveness does not require restoration. So, because you forgive the spouse that cheated or financially caused you to go bankrupt, because you forget someone that committed incest towards you, because you forgive someone that caused you to lose your job, doesn't mean now you need to restore that relationship and marry that person again, or now hang out with that person that offended you or your abuser. It means you release them, is what it does. You go, I get they did this. Here's the result, and I forgive them. So all healing does not automatically restores the relationship. So if you're confused by that or uncertain, or the cheating spouse has come back and now they want restoration, focusjames.com. And you can set up a 30-minute session with me and we can talk that out. See, when you begin to purge, and over these 15 days, a lot is going to come up. And you don't have to try to figure this out on your own. And if you're choosing to fast while you do it and take still the vitamins and the products, so be it. Please make sure you're just drinking plenty of water. but things from your past is going to come up. And you need a safe place to land to frame it in a way that works, not cause you to go in depression and be overwhelmed and overloaded because now you're trying to sleep, you're trying to stop bad habits, trying to stop eating certain things and now eat better things. It's a lot to take on. So be gracious to yourself. And every day is a new day in this 15-day run that we're doing out with a bang. Pastor Toro, you can definitely come on in. I know you had a few questions before we close out, and I'm being mindful of the time. So I know this is a 30-minute segment, so I want to give you the opportunity to do so.
I tell you, we need to have you back for part two.
I would love that. I would love that.
We're gonna have to fill you in on the other side then, because we really do need you back for
I would
part
love
two. I want to ask you one question. If anybody has any questions,
it.
please put them in the chat,
Yes.
and or you can dial in on the 857. I'll put it in the on a banner so you all can call in if you like, because you know when you have Miss Focus James, you want to try to at least get a little bit in, get a little bit while you can. But I want
Yes.
to ask you this, and thank you so much for sharing your heart, your passion, as well as you said, you know, your pain became your basically your ministry. That's what it
Yes.
was.
That's
Um,
exactly right.
so, what about the people that say, "I can forgive, and I do forgive, but I won't forget," and are
Yeah.
still walking in that pain because they say, "I can't forget. I can't get over it. I
Sure.
forgive, but
Yeah.
I'm still remembering the pain of it."
Yeah, I know a lot of people walk in that delusion. So it's slightly delusional, right? One, you're not going to forget because unless
Mhm,
you have some kind of disease that has a
mhm,
short term memory or something like that, you're not. We're human, right? It's no way
right,
you're going to forget unless you have Alzheimer's, dementia, or something
mhm,
like that. So there's no need to forget.
mm,
But I love what you just said. It's in a way that says I'm still going to hold on to it. See, I don't
mhm,
forget that my husband, cheated.
yes,
He married the nanny, which now I don't even refer to her because this is a new story, right? That's his wife. See, I
mhm,
wasn't able to forget before the marriage happened, and they were still trying to figure out what they were doing, and the pain was fresh. When he was dropping my son off, I didn't have an opportunity to forget. She's in the car.
mhm,
So you don't need to forget. What you need to do is make peace that this has happened. And here's the lesson I can learn. And guess what? Sometimes you don't even know what the lesson is, Pastor. You don't even
mhm,
know yet. But what you know that the pain, the anger, the sadness is eating me up inside.
yes,
So recognizing that this is a human experience, right? And I truly believe, even to this day, that he, my ex-husband, did the best he can do at that time in that segment in his life. Well, what he knew about God and himself and humanity, that was the best choices that he can make. And that's how
mhm,
I frame it in my way to go, okay, peace be unto you. And I'll be honest with you, Pastor Tori. Let me drop this on you guys as we roll out. Let me drop this on you. It was the best thing that could have happened to my life because in the name of Jesus, I would have stayed married because I believed in marriage till death do you part at
mhm,
16 to 23, right? Because that's it. We met at 16. He wanted to marry me and he proposed at 17. My mom was like, HE double hockey sticks. No, she's a child herself, right? So thank God my mom spared me a couple more months before I ended up getting married at 18. And I
mhm,
literally was committed to dying with him as my husband, with all of the shenanigans that was going on, because that was the commitment I made before God.
mhm,
But God
mhm,
saw fit to have mercy on me and allow him to have an affair because that affair allowed him to cover the three A's that in my church and belief allows you to have a divorce, which is abandonment, adultery, and what was it's three one abandonment, adultery, and I'll get back with you guys with the third one. It doesn't
mhm.
come to my mind right now, but because abuse, unfortunately,
Oh,
I
right.
experienced some
Yeah.
abuse in that relationship, verbally and physically. So that's the
Mhm,
three A's. Don't I'm
mhm.
not trying to push my religion on anyone.
No,
I'm
that's
saying
good.
that's the things that allowed me to be free. But even that, it took me a minute to wrap my brain around. So I promise you, it may not feel like it, but all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are be called according to his purpose. And now I know my purpose on this side. That 10 years, I didn't know my purpose. I, I,
Yes.
I thought plenty of times how to bust the window out of his and her car, right? And then I'll fast and pray to get the devil away. That wasn't the devil. That was me angry and bitter because these people jacked up my life, right? It wasn't the devil. Everything ain't the devil. We give him too much credit. That was an
Come on.
scorned woman, is what that was, right?
Yeah.
And then there was days I was like, I'm gonna forgive, but then
Mm-hmm.
I would see them again, right? Because you got
Mm-hmm.
to drop my child off every 2, 3 days. I mean, every
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you are not to forget. That's not possible. So you're asking
Yeah.
yourself to do something that's not reasonable to answer your question. And then just as importantly, releasing them is what you're doing so you can live your life and live it in a juicy way. I know that was a
Yeah.
long answer, but that
Yep.
statement is so packed with so many layers
Yes.
of just bondage to yourself. I just wanted to spend a little time explaining that.
That was great. That was great. So forgiveness is not an emotion. It is a
Mhm.
choice. It's a decision.
Well, emotions are wonderful. They normally tell us that there was a boundary and it was broken, or there
Mm-hmm.
need to be a boundary so it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
get broken.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to
Mm-hmm.
allow ourselves that when that anger comes up, that something is
Yes.
missing there. You're either angry and it's unreasonable, and now you need
Mm-hmm.
a boundary to recognize I'm overly thinking this, or you're
Mm-hmm.
angry because you had a boundary or need to have a boundary, and now that needs to be addressed. So it's so okay to recognize and acknowledge and validate your emotions
Yes.
and then
Absolutely.
regulate them with what you beautifully said, which is choice. I am
Yes.
angry, I am resentful, and I choose to forgive. So that way
Yes.
you're not feeling like you're bipolar, right? Allow yourself to be what it is. And I know I tried to rush through it, Pastor Tori. I tried to
Mm-hmm.
rush to the forgiveness, and I really wasn't there. It was too much too soon, and I needed to go through the process. And that's part of why it took me 10 years, because I wanted to be this super Christian of, well, I forgive them, God bless them. Where inside I was just broken and just really in dismay of what happened and how it went down.
Well, Focus, do you think there are any super Christians?
I do not, especially in
I
Philly,
don't
when
either.
every 3 blocks there's a church. Everybody ain't called. We don't need that many churches. People calling themselves and calling themselves the tithes and offering because they fall out with their pastor. So they go set
Yes.
up another church. It's a whole
Yes.
lot of different motives that people have to calling themselves
Yes.
pastors, preachers, the head of mosques and synagogues as well, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that to the short answer your question, that's my answer, and
Yeah.
I'm sticking to it as Les Brown says. That's the
Well,
story, right?
I'm gonna co-sign on it and say I agree with you
Yeah.
100%. Adrian asks, she says, "How do you trust or let in a person that continually hurts you? Is it okay to forgive and let the person go?"
Absolutely, Adrian. Absolutely. It's necessary to forgive. That's for you to be able to have the life that God wants you to have because you're blinded and blocked by the fear and the pain of that person hurting you again or someone else does, right? So that's all part of that healing. So you could clear the space and really see and acknowledge what had happened, right? So that's what that process of forgiving is. And you do not have to restore the relationship because you forgave the person. They may not be a qualified person to be in a business relationship with an
Hmm.
intimate relationship, a neighbor. They may no longer qualify for a neighbor that you need to connect with because your core values and belief don't match. And it literally could be dangerous to your
Yeah.
soul to try to reconnect with that person. Literally. So you want to acknowledge, I forgive them, and then you want to recognize who this person is and does it work for them to be in my life according to the purpose that God has for me? Not to be neighborly, not
Right.
to look good in the church so you take your husband back. Is this God's purpose for my life? That's a different question because we don't want to run our life by societal rules. Well, honey,
Yeah.
it'll be Solomon Gomorrah up in here all over the place all
Yes.
over again, right?
Yes.
Hopefully,
Yes.
I answered your question, Adrian. Great
You
question.
did. You absolutely did. Thank you so much. And there's someone on the Deborah actually is on the conference line, and she
Okay.
has a question. So
Oh,
what's your
great.
question, Deborah? So much. And there's someone on the Deborah actually is on the conference
was waving at you. But here's my question.
Hello.
Okay, Deborah, I think you probably have your phone on and your computer playing. So you're gonna have to mute one or the other because we're
Okay,
getting
let me get away from my computer because I
okay.
want to ask her this question.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're so thankful for Deborah because of Deborah. Focus James is with us today. So thank you, Deborah, for your heartfelt love for Focus, and she's with us because you stretched out. You said we gotta put her on with us, and I am going to ask Focus James. I'm going to get with you again for
Okay.
part two because I really do think that you're touching the hearts of so many people today, and they need
Awesome.
to hear. So many people as well, Focus, have a lot of church hurts,
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
leave the church because of church hurts when it
Sure.
is not God that does it.
Sure.
We're human, we're all
Yes.
human, and we're human beings, and we're
Yes.
being the people that we've learned to become, and we
Yes.
still have to get healed and work out some things as well,
I
and it's not
agree.
God's fault. But I
Correct.
love what you said. There's
Correct.
purpose on the other side of pain. Are you ready,
Yes.
Deborah?
Healed.
Yes,
Once
I
we
am.
heal that hurt, we'll get that purpose.
There we go. Yes. Okay, go ahead, Deborah.
Okay, my question is this: What What do you do when you find yourself doing the same thing? Even I know the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I understand that part. But what do you do when you find yourself getting in relationships and they end up being the same thing? It's just a different, um, what can I say? It's just done a different way. You understand my question?
I do. I do. You're asking a question, which I talk about often, which is you can lose 50 pounds, dye your hair red, and move across the country and still pick the same man. Right? So you're asking, why is that? What's happening there, Focus? Who, let me see it really quick. I'm just looking this up. Prince Harry married who? What was his wife's name?
Okay,
Megan.
I'm gonna
Right.
hang up the phone
Megan.
so I can hear you on my computer.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Perfect.
Go.
Perfect. So here's a great worldwide example. So Prince Harry, his mother, Prince Diana, passed away from the media chasing her, the paparazzi. He
That's
had
right.
no power to defend her and deal with that, right?
Mhm.
And Meghan Markle, she felt betrayed by her dad, who did not protect her, guide her, and was a covering for her.
Yes.
Clean across the waters, across stations,
Hmm.
and royalty to regular people, their spirit trauma attracted trauma,
Wow.
and they connected across the world to feed each other trauma. He needed to save a woman because he couldn't save his mama.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she needed to be saved and needed someone to save her. So
Wow.
if we don't heal that hurt from our childhood wounds, we will repeat the pain. We're literally calling out, trying to figure out and regulate and heal that hurt. And we generally create what's called a relationship crucible, a triangle. We'll keep recreating that childhood wound, trying to figure it out, like playing the game. What is this? The square game with all the colors, and you got to put it back together. What's that called, Pastor Toro? The
Rubik
Rubik's Cube.
cube.
Rubik's
Hmm.
Cube. So each relationship, we're changing the colors, thinking, okay, this is the one. This is how you do it, right? But if you don't know what you don't know, you still keep switching it around, and you just can't get it. You just can't figure it out, right? So we'll literally, and listen, let me just talk to our gay and lesbian community. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm on a page of divorced women, and a woman messaged everybody and said, listen, I've had so much trauma with men. I'm thinking about going to the other side. And the gay community responded in that page and said, listen, they just as bad over here as well, right? you know, so people are even going to the point of changing different genders to think that that's where your healing is. No, one is the magic number. You need to heal your soul, heal your mind and your spirit, so that you're not screaming out from your energy. The shout out to James Denley, who wrote the book about energy, the five frequencies. Definitely grab his book and talk about our frequency puts out what's inside of us, and you just can't get away from it. So his name might change, but if the pain is still brewing from dad and what had happened from your uncle, you're going to attract that same person. Now, here's how you know you're healed, and I'll wrap it up this way. You'll see that that's the same person, and you'll go, namaste, thank you, sir, but no thank you. That's how you know when the healing is there, because those people don't go away. You're just now woke and enlightened that that's that same type of person. And now you're a big fat no, and you clear about it. You don't take 3 years in that relationship to go, you know what, he is just like my dad. No, you see it from the door. That's what healing does, right? Thank you for allowing me to answer that.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Mhm.
You all see why we have to have her back, right? You all see
Thank
why we
you.
have to have her back. And she just touched on a few things. So,
Mhm.
wow, thank you so much,
You're
Focus. I know we are far spending time, but
welcome.
I'm telling you, it was so good. It's hard to cut
Yes.
it off. But we want to encourage you all to
Yes.
make sure you see
Yes.
focusjames.com.
Yep.
Make sure that you reach out to her, because what you heard was just the tip of the iceberg. And how many
Mhm.
of you all know that the iceberg always has a whole lot more underneath?
Yes.
So get in touch with Focus James to help
Mhm.
you to navigate life, because one is the magic number.
One is the magic number. Well, thank you so much for having me. And my staff just let me know they're still working to get focusjames.com up and running. So the website that Pastor has had up, the Focus of Love, is the correct one for right now. And let me know that you met me here, and I'll offer you a 30-minute complimentary Zoom session, a coaching session, complimentary, because you're here, you're ready to go ahead and break out and change your life in these next 15 days. And I want to support you in doing that. Pastor, thanks for having me. And thank you for all those that's in your team for having me.
Thank you so much, Focus. God bless you, and may He
God
keep you just doing what it is that He's ordained you to do, because you are phenomenal.
bless. Oh,
Thank you
thank you.
so much. We'll see you next time.
See
Well,
you
be
next
in
time.
touch. Be in
All right.
touch. Be in
Okay.
touch.
Bye
All
bye.
right. Then. Okay. Bye bye. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Listen, I know I don't even have to ask. Listen, do this for me, you guys. If anybody wants to see Focus come back, put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. If you think we need to have Focus again, we pray that we can get her, or her schedule will open up to come back again for us. But if you all think we need to get Focus back, put a one in. I see Deborah said one. Dr. K said one. Yes, come on. Is that it? It's just two people think we need to get her back. Adrian said one, 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 one. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now let me ask you. Cynthia says one. Thank you so much for responding. I want her to know how much it meant for her, for you guys to have her on, to be able to really minister to you. Now, I'm so thankful. Miss James said, she said, look, I want to kick it off. She said, is it okay if I kick it off? Now, look, I know you all know that that was an awesome kickoff. Yes. What do you all think? If you think that was an awesome kickoff for us with a bang, then just put a two. Put a two in the comment section, because guess what? We've got 14 more days to go. If you think that that was a good kickoff, a good start, put a two in the comment section. And I know that you're saying, "Hey, touchdown! Come on, come on!" I mean, I don't even know what else to say other than OMG. Please share these lives, and we'll do some replays on some of them as well. But we still got 14 days of people, of power hitters coming in the morning at 11 a.m. and in the evening at 6 p.m. And if we have anything in between, we're going to also give you that as well. But we're encouraging you. There's a lot of life changers on the line today, and we are total life changers. And we're so thankful for our coaches, our head coaches, Dr. Kara Scott Dentley, Dr. James Dentley. They have been really phenomenally preparing us to be better people. And we want to encourage you to think about these products that we use. The products will bless your life, literally. And on these 15 days, you heard Focus say, she said, hey, while you're working on yourself by using the products, the vitamins, the detoxing with the teas, get back with the life changer and say, hey, can you at least give me a sample? I want to know more about these products that you all are using as we bring it in to help you to go out with a bang these 15 days. So I thank you all so much for joining us, and we're not going to prolong the time, but we will be back here again at 11 a.m. in the morning, and we're still working on our workout crew. Glory to God. Okay. They work. Gut check. Pro Z. Okay. Amen. Those are just some of our products. I mean, we just need to talk about what we offer too, because the products are truly amazing. I have my NutriBurst today. If you have not done it, let us know in the Out with a Bang group, and encourage people to join our Out with a Bang group, because it's not about us. It's not even about 2021, but it's really about creating a better environment for a better life for you. Not just ending 2021, but as you go into 2022, we want to say that you can go out with a bang, whatever it is that you're dealing with, and come in with a blast, blasting out off into your purpose. So we want to encourage you all to just join us again and keep plugging in, keep plugging in. I want to also invite you all to join. Dr. Kara Scott Dentley has empowerment calls Monday. I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep trying to make the call start on Monday, Dr. K, but Tuesday through Friday we have empowerment calls. And what you're seeing right now is a number that we dial in Tuesday through Friday. And that is 302 The code is 713-799. And we are at this point, and we will be doing tomorrow, going over the book. Thank God, Dr. Kara Scott Dentley, through her empowerment call. We'll be going over the book, When the Rain Falls, the Flower Blooms, which is a book that I wrote. But we meet Tuesday through Friday at 8 a.m. And each day is different. But tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to be going over When the Rain Falls, the Flower Blooms, which is the book that I wrote. And it's all about, what is Focus talking about? Relationships. Bada beam, bada boom. I wish I had, okay, I don't have a mic, but I got a pen. Mic drop. We're coming right back on relationships tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time to help you to really begin to set your life on such a wonderful quote, such a wonderful can't post comments to some destinations. Okay, we're still working on some of the well, oh, that was on my screen. I'm sorry. Tuesday through Friday. Thank you, Dr. K. And the number is all in the chat as well. So please join us Tuesday through Friday at 8 a.m. and let us begin to help you to unpack some of the things that are stopping you from being your best self. I want to thank you all again for joining us today. Go back and look at this again. And while you're listening, get in a quiet space and let it minister to your heart. And understand what she said. The magic number is 1. We so many times focus on what other people are doing. And we need to focus on ourselves being healed. Because on the other side of hurt, when you're healed, on the other side of hurt, there is purpose. On the other side of pain, there is purpose. So, wow, Focus was amazing. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And Dr. K is tuning in. But Dr. K is going to be one of our speakers as well as we go along. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you at 8 a.m. tomorrow, Central Standard, on that empowerment call, Dr. Carol Scott Dentley's empowerment call, 302-202-1110. The pin is 713-799. And that is again Tuesday through Friday. But tomorrow we'll be going over when the rain falls, the flower blooms. So join us for that. But we're still coming back at 11 a.m. and out with the bang to bring you another speaker. Now, if you thought this was dynamic, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know if anybody could say it better than Shalia. Shalia said today, she said, Pastor Tori, when you started going over the names of the speakers, I just said, oh my God, what we have, I got to get some people on the line. And people have been coming in to Out with the Bang because Shalia said, we got to have more people hearing this because these speakers are too dynamic to pass up. So invite somebody. I love how Dr. Marlena said, she said, bring a pad and a pen and invite a friend. Tell a friend. Because we got some stuff that's going to bless your life, that's going to help you to make it through this time in space right here, right now, where life, you may need a little bit of help. So join us in the Facebook group, Out with the Bang. It costs you nothing. And we're going to be giving away a free gift tomorrow. Yes, we will. Because every day when somebody attends, we have free gifts for you. Okay? We're not giving away a whole lot of them. But every day somebody will win something. Is it you? Is it you? Invite your friends so that they could win too. Again, join us tomorrow at 11 a.m., 8 a.m. for the empowerment call, and join us at 11 a.m. when we come to session three, actually, because we kicked it off at 11 a.m. today, Out with the Bang. And you see the life cycle. We're going to cover relationships, family, health and fitness or wellness, personal growth, finances, and spirituality. Those are all the components that make up a healthier life. May God's riches and best be yours. Thank you for joining us. Invite some other people and please share these lives. Mwah! God bless you. Remember, the magic number is one. You matter. God bless. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.